Pastor, why would you open up such a can of worms to a church? And how are you going to get out of this conversation? Many of you are asking. In order for us to talk about how to reach the next generation with the gospel, you first have to identify that the greatest place of institutional distrust amongst young people and young adults and people that are 40 and under, I want you to listen to me, is not with politics, it's not with the news, it's not with the school system. The greatest place of institutional distrust taking place in this generation of America today is at the church. When you turn on the news, there is scandal after scandal after scandal. A lot of people are okay with getting discipled online, thinking that it's better to get discipled with someone 2,000 miles away because they seem to be safer than what I can see in front of me. And most of their assessments, I want you to listen to me, are not wrong. I'm not talking about the church per se, that we're not looking for a perfect local church, but what I will say, the church at large, if we're not careful, will not be self-aware to know that the people that we're trying to reach look at the church with high distrust. The pastors live in what? The pastors drive what? The church is doing what? Where does all the money go? What is the reason why the church is fighting just as bad as those in the world? It's sad to say that oftentimes people on travel ball teams have more community than they do even in their local church. And that's not to slam dunk the church, it's just to bring an awareness to the church that if we're wanting to reach this community, we have to recognize we're not reaching a community that's in 1990 or 2000 or 2010. We are reaching a postmodern, post-COVID culture that is highly distrusting. And the thing that I wanted to bring to you today to think about is this, is the thing that caused the damage is by and large the thing that God will use to repair and heal the damage. So if you were hurt in relationships, where do you get healed? You get healed in relationships. And so the church needs to take a large look in and say, for a lot of people, and we got to take this with the proper tension. For a lot of people that view the church, there's a lot of hurt associated with the way pastors have treated them, the way leadership has treated them, the way people in the aisle have treated them. Some of that is justified, some of it is not justified, but the devil doesn't care if it's justified or not justified. He wants to sow seeds of dissension in the church because he knows if he can beat the church house, he can have a community. And the reason why the enemy is seemingly winning in Josephine County out there is because the enemy, by and large, has been winning inside the four walls of the church. And so it's going to take great maturity. It's going to take a mature house to know that what God is after is not a perfect pastor. God's not after a perfect church. He's not after perfect theology, although we should strive to do those things and be those things. What God is after is a surrendered house that knows that if we want to reach the community, we have to achieve and walk in another level of maturity so that when people walk in this room, they don't feel like they have to be perfect, they just feel like they have to be real.